Bam, bam, bam. Gosh, I wanted to sing and I just suddenly started choking. But anyway. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, I'm a minute early. I'm making up for all the times I'm late. A minute early. Oh my goodness. And I got some nice cola. Yeah. Got like a little Santa Claus on the can now. Very weird. He looks creepy. Was I the only person that was creeped out by Santa on? I think I've just got really bad uncanny valley stuff. But it has to be stuff that looks, you know, kind of humanish. Because it's amount of things I'm like, oh my gosh, that creeped me out as a kid. And it's just like uncanny valley, really. It's like monkeys. Monkeys and apes. Oh my goodness, though. How is everyone? I hope you're doing well. Oh, wait, I've not got chat up on my phone. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I got yeeted. I think I need to turn up my volume a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I'm still not wearing my headphones. Still not wearing my headphones because, you know, ear infections aren't fun and I'm afraid of them. But hello, Tony for Tanuki. How you doing? I hope you're doing super duper ultra mega well. And if you're not, well, I'm gonna have to like, oh no, my thumb can't use the touch screen anymore. I've got a big old plaster on my thumb. Because do I cut it yesterday on stream? Like I cut it when I was moving boxes around for a bit. And it's right under the nail, and it really hurts. And I removed the plaster yesterday, and then I've been doing stuff, and I keep hurting my thumb every time I touch something. And then I was gluing some models together today. And I got glue I got glue on the injury, and it hurt so much. I went to put it in my mouth like, ow, and then all I could do is taste glue, and then I'm getting my thumb stuck to my tongue, so I put a plaster back on it. Whether like the stream Conjuror is gonna build one Terminator. Oh my gosh, we're already up to 5. We only built 6 yesterday. I guess we're gonna have to get to it. But hi Talan, how you doing? Oof. I think what I want to start doing today, I've not built the other 5 Terminators. What I was building today was some heavy intercessors. I've only got 5 heavy intercessors left. Oh, look at them. They're like holding hands. It's like holding hands. Oh. Wait, holding hands? You need to censor that. You need to censor that. Hi, iOS. Should have come later. Oh no. But yeah. We got this. These are the guys we built yesterday. We built them yesterday. Yeah. Looking okay-ish. Is that camera fine? Yeah, the camera looks fine. This is my new ancient. This is Mr. Frankenstein man who goes raw. Raw. It looks so weird. Hi Vayo, how you doing? It's so fly day, Chinatown Mayonaka, no. Itogami, no. So fly day, China. You know. I don't know what a fly day is. It's Monday. It's Fly Day Chinatown. Rawr. Also, I've realised I got a bunch of these. Oh, I meant to figure out how many I had. I was just going to like calculate it based on how many I bought rather than counting them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I have enough for all the Terminators. And I want to use these to convert some of my normal dudes. Like, do you know my Infernus Marines? To give them the, you know, you need these cool little things. Makes them feel more Black Templar. I'm also definitely going to get more capes. But the issue with the capes, they're expensive. Like, I need 127 of them. And even, well, maybe a little less. And even at like 20 pence per one of them, when you need that many, that's like 25 quid. Well, then it's like some of the websites sell these capes for a tenner for like 4 or 5 of them. And it's like, what? That is expensive. But yeah, I mean, I think I got these for like less than £1 each, but still, I'm gonna have to get more. I'm just gonna have to buy them bits and pieces at a time. Why the band-aid? I hurt my finger in yesterday's stream when I was moving boxes for a bit. One, like the other cardboard went right under my nail into that corner, and it's like, it's bad. And it really hurts whenever I press it against anything like this. That's super painful. And I got glue in it earlier, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put another plaster on it, just so I don't get more glue on it. It's more than 10, less than 100. Oh, Talan's talking like a half-life Kobean cop. I mean, that's just how Talan talks. Ooh, finger beds, no light cardboard. Yep. It's true. Oh, wait, where's my models? Let me get them. Got the box. The box. Hi, Fuon. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm not usually a cat. I just got turned into one. Here we go. I'm thinking I want to get one of, because we've never built a captain before. Like, other than the push fit one from Leviathan. Like a captain in Terminator armor. So let's build this dude. He has a stormbolt. I prefer the stormbolt over the combi weapon because we get 4 shots each. Combi weapon, it's got devastating wounds, anti-infantry, but you know, at 1 damage a piece, it's kind of meh. Maybe it was 2 damage. Okay, so what do we want? We want this leg. Oh, look, he's got a booty. I just got myself a bunch of Thousand Suns Rubik Marines. Ooh. I kind of want some Rubik Marines. I've got some Rubik Marines, kind of. More or less proxy for Rubik Marines. But basically Legionnaires with those disintegrator weapons from Horus Heresy. Yeah, it's basically just them. And I'm like, I think that's pretty representative of the,
chasing
Rubik
down
Marines.
a cupcake like a cheetah catching gazelle.
No, don't do that, Native Engine. They're friends, not food. I got them to learn dry brushing metallic base. Ooh. Dry brushing metallics is very, very difficult. Like, I've been trying to dry brush metallics, and it's because they're generally relatively thicker paints. I find that it's look how weird it looks. Yeah, for thicker paints, and that has a bunch of issues in of itself. Because when if you don't have enough of a brush, it dries up really quickly and it just doesn't go onto the model. And if you have too much on the brush, it goes everywhere, but it's very difficult to find that middle ground with metallic paints compared to other paints. So there's a helicopter going overhead again. We get a lot of helicopters. Oh, I'm a snake now. Yep, I get turned into them. If you look in chat, you can see people using these exclamation mark things, and they like exclamation mark word. And those are just commands. You can see all the commands in the description. They cost sprinkles, but you earn sprinkles just by being in chat. Oh, there's 2 options with this guy. I can have either this front piece or that front piece. I'll have the long one. But yeah, the captain. This isn't actually going to be a captain. I mean, kind of, it is a captain. But it's a captain for my seed detachment, for 6th detachment. And because they're Black Templars, they don't have captains. They have marshals, they have castellans. And if you use your lieutenant model, really all you're doing is using a Castellan that just has slightly different stats and does different stuff to typical Castellans. And this captain in this detachment, he's going to be using captain stats and stuff, but really he's not the captain. So I don't want him looking too fancy. Or he's not the marshal in charge of a detachment. Hi Sarah Dwin, how you doing? You don't even like Siege of Thousand Suns? I think I can trade them for some 30k Legionnaires. Ooh. 30k Legionnaires are pretty fun. I've got loads of them. For both my Templars and my Night Lords. I use them in 40k, not actual Heresy games. What's this? Oh, I can't get it on my thumb. Blast on thumb not helping. There we go. Oh, you've arrived. How's it going? It's going okay-ish. Glory to the year of the Sangors. Were there any Sangors released this year? I don't think there were. There was one set with Dinofos Enlightened Sangors for 40k. 1,000 Suns, a combat patrol. There we go. Oh. Hi, motivated dad. Yay. How you doing? Did the Terminators cut your thumb? No. Well, actually, technically, yeah. It's a Terminator box that cut my thumb. Which wasn't the most fun thing. He wants to be on that base. Oh yeah, so this guy, the 6th detachment, the siege detachment, is led by a marshal who sits aboard a, what's it called? A land raider within the detachment with a bunch of sword buffing and blade guard. This guy instead leads 10 Terminators who deep strike behind enemy lines while the siege is going on and for charging all the land raiders in. And he's basically just a Castellan in Terminator armor. He comes down and just starts shooting them all up with a stormbolters and assault cannons and charges in with a power fist and chain fists and causing chaos while drop-podded Infernus Marines come down and start burning everything. And then the land raiders come in. You got 2 normal land raiders, each with a chaplain in Terminator armor and 5 assault Terminators with shield and thunderhammer. And then you've got a crusader that has 6 blade guard, a blade guard captain who instead represents more of a champion skilled fighter, a lieutenant blade guard who represents again another Castellan, and then you have 5 sword breathmen, a crusader ancient, and a marshal. And the marshal's the guy actually in charge of the detachment. Or at least that's how I imagine it. Yeah. Oh, so hi TA, how you doing? My god, my cat just knocked the known oil battle out of my hand and now he's half shaded. Oh, no! I hope your cat's okay. Give your cat a good clean. Drive them up. Oh no, that doesn't sound good. This is why I don't let my cats around my paints and stuff. Although, I'm back on cat duty again, which means I'm having to take care of the cats. And one of them is like super needy. And she just always wants attention. So I have to just keep her in my bedroom, like at night at the very least, just so she can have someone around. Okay, this one is going here. The other one always wants to spray everywhere, and I have to take her on walks. Well, thankfully it's only for a couple of days. No! I dropped the knee pad. Okay, I'm gonna have to find the other half of his foot, because he's got like half a foot there. Unfortunately, it's a very monopose model. If I want to change its posing, actually, changing its posing would be incredibly difficult. I'd have to trim off these stones on the foot, because it's got stones on both feet, and like cut at the knees. Oh, this doesn't. Yeah, this is not an easy to repose model. Require a lot of green stuffing, it looks like. Oh, here's this other foot. Half of his foot. Not a big fan of that. Especially just because of how boring it looks. There we go. I mean, at least I imagine no oil, where it doesn't dry quickly and it washes out pretty well. The cat will probably hate cleaning itself for a few days though, as it will have a taste of no oil over its fur. He's very angry that you have to spray him though. Sad. Sad little kitty cat. Well, if he didn't want to get sprayed, then, you know, you shouldn't have knocked it out of your hand. Where do these go? Maybe it's on the arms. Oh yeah, definitely on the arms. Okay, we got Stormbolter, kind of boring. We got Power Fist, kind of boring. I mean, he's allowed to be a bit boring. Wait, does he not have a cape? Oh my gosh, he doesn't start with a cape. I thought this guy came with a cape. This is disappointing. We definitely want the Power Fist anyway. Again, it's meant to be a Castellan, so I don't want him to look too fancy. Got these two things. He is part of a siege detachment, so maybe we should equip him in a way that makes him look, you know, heavier. Well, both my shirts and jeans are now gone along with your cutting mat. No nail should be able to clean out of your cutting mat. If you put what I did. Oh, I mean for Chibi mode. Sorry, give me a moment. Chibi mode's not fixed, Chibi mode's flying. I just have to like change a couple of settings so we're doing hand cams. There we go. But yeah, what I did when I got paint all over, well, contrast paint all over my trousers, my loungewear, I immediately just threw them into water. Like I just soaked them and immediately got them in for wash. That should work the same for known oil, I feel like.
Termies must be built. The Fanes of Forge World Goober stand ready to produce.
Forge World Goober. Yeet. How you doing? How you doing, Anthony? I keep wanting to call you Carmad. Well, technically, it's not a Forge World that's building these. When it comes to, you know, in law, it's a Forge ship. I'm taking the fact that, you know, they have lots of different pieces and bits and stuff. Is that the idea is that because Terminator plate is so hard to come by and so hard to make, the tech beast Dominus in charge of it all is having to use quite a lot of stuff. Like just spare parts and making compromises to get it all up and running and to keep them maintained. Hence why there's a bit of mixing and matching, like, you know, you got this person here with a non-standard shoulder pads and front plates and stuff and non-standard head. And this person's got a non-standard shoulder pad here and then, you know, normal shoulder pad, non-standard head. Then this one has only one non-standard shoulder pad, and but this guy's a non-standard shoulder pad here and then normal one here. Like, what's going on here? Reclaimed armor. Mixture of reclaimed armor, newly forged armor, and then just like, you know what? We don't actually have all the correct pieces, so instead of making a single, like, large ceramite shoulder pad or whatever, we'll instead have it in multiple different layers using weaker materials. So it's heavier, but it offers the same protection. And it's easier to maintain and repair. Hence why it's like this thing, it's like it's got chainmail and multiple different plating. That's how I imagine it's going. And then they use the shoulder pads that they're saving and stuff to instead build new armor using good materials. Or they're reinforcing damaged shoulder pads with all this extra equipment. Oh, I could have him shooting gangster style. Give me a moment. Okay, tiny bit went flying, but I forgot it. I've said I've got it. Assembling 100 terminators is the easy part. Painting them is a challenge, yeah. Although it's not that easy when you are using all of these bits and they're expensive. Okay, so they could be shooting like that, or give me a moment. Gangster shooting. Oh my goodness. So gangster. The codex does not support that style of shooting your weapon. Screw the codex. I have money. I mean, considering we've got 102 terminators in a single detachment, or in a single crusade, suggests that we might be relatively wealthy. Here I go again, getting shadow realmed. Oh, here we go. Painting from is where she'll fall flat on her face. Okay, what did I want? I wanted to use... Not that one. Where is it? Give me a moment. Here we go. I specifically wanted to use this head for him. The ancient. Hi Archeon, how you doing? You dragged yourself out of an Alfarius and Solanesh chart by the skin of your teeth? Ooh. Green Cupcakes is the best. 2 OP, please nerf. Oh no, I didn't see what happened there. There we go. Oh. Deep strikes in and just gangster shoots you. Drive-by shooting. I kind of want to put him in on like a Land Raider and just like shooting out the window. I've been watching a lot of San Andreas playthroughs recently. Okay, that's a big old armoured shoulder pad. That's a big old armoured shoulder pad. Going a bit cataphracty with this one. That's cool. We can go with that. Getting super glue over my fingers. Okay, that goes there. Like that. That's pretty cool. And then other shoulder pad. Oof. Yeah, this glue bottle is messed up. But it's fine. Oh gosh, no wonder that doesn't want to fit. Oh. Oh. That got twisted around. Get all the super glue out of this. Okay, I'm gonna just have to do that later. It's got super glue all over it for now. I can use my plaster to wipe it down. Let's stick too well to the plaster. That's cool. Anyway, get this onto the shoulder pad.
This is the most gangster stream ever.
The most gangster stream ever. I don't think so, but... Thank you. At least the slots treat you right. Yay! Don't glue to me. Don't glue to me. Glue to... No, that's me again. Glue to here, and then you need to glue to here. Yeah, there we go. That's how it's meant to look. Big old heavy cataphractii. Well, it's not cataphractii armor. But the layered shoulder pads makes me think cataphractii armor.
Six, 7.
6, 7. Don't have put the eye patch on today. I mean, I think that's like your first mistake of when you want to use your, you know, shoot stuff. Don't put the eye patch on. Okay, we've definitely got to give him this cape. Oh wait, he's a bit too wide for the cape. Nope, never mind, he fits. Oh, okay, that's a bit too bright, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, that looks cool. Blind in one eye patch.
Blind in one eye, patch on the other, head empty, full of cola.
Yeah, full of cola! As long as you're full of cola, you must be doing something right. There we go. There we go. Look at it. Oh, it's so cool. Again, I don't want to decorate him too much. In fact, this is where this captain kind of, you know, shines, in which you don't actually want him to represent a captain. He just uses the stats of one. Go. Okay, you just stay there for a little bit. Where's your the rest of the sprue? Anything here we can attach to him. That would be cool. Ooh, that's an iron halo. Yeah, that would be nice to add to it. Eye patches are dope. Hey, oh, what's his name? Has an eye patch. Slade Wilson. The guy Wade Wilson is based on. Or originally inspired by. Ooh, it's Deathstroke. Yeah, Deathstroke. I used to love Deathstroke, mainly because of the Teen Titans. And then comic books ruined Deathstroke. I mean, I know he's not meant to be a great person, and he's like, oh, sometimes an anti-villain, where he like is on the side of good sometimes. That looks pretty cool, actually. Yeah, that looks good enough to be. Question, do we have any like spare purity seals here? We got this little shieldy thing. I don't think that's going to fit. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work with these shoulder pads. Yeah, we can just save that for another model. Thanks for the bombardment, take care. Put those two to one side and then grab. Not those two. These two things. And I'm gonna see if there's like any cool purity seals. Oh, there's a purity seal looking thing here. So this is the sprue that we used up yesterday of the assault terminators. There we go. Couple of little shields here I want to just cut out and put down. They look fun. But are there any purity seals or anything cool I want to give him? I don't want to give him a storm shield, to be honest. Oh yeah, another purity seal. And then a couple more of these little shields. I'm not going to give him the little shields. I want a little shield with a purity seal on it. And another purity seal that I don't want to give it to him, but it's good to just have for somebody else. There's another shield I just saw witness before. Not there. Oh no, I've already cut it off. Never mind, it's fine. There we go. For urge to spend your paycheck on more plastic back. You don't even play Space Marines. You don't need to play Space Marines yet. You can play Space Marines though. All it takes is the spending of just one little paycheck. The ruining of just one little credit score. Yeah, I'm going to avoid buying anything for a little bit. As much as I like the new Marauders and the Warhammer Quest stuff that's coming out. I'm happy with what I've got right now. There's a lot to still need to build. You know what? How come your gun over here doesn't have a purity seal on it? It's like heretical stuff not having a purity seal on your main weapon. I mean, you got a purity seal on your fist. That's pretty nice, but you want those 4 shots you get. Stormbolters should have a Stormbolters when used by characters, terminators, sorry, should have a pistol keyword. One, it will make terminators, like your normal terminators, more worthwhile getting. And 2, it just makes the Stormbolters work better. Like, I understand the Stormbolters. They've never had twin, well, maybe they have had twin linked in the past. It's like when I was playing, they didn't have twin linked. I always thought maybe they should do, but they got more shot. If they had the assault keyword, it's like, you know what, that's fine. And they were pretty good because you didn't really have like heavy bolt rifles or anything at that point. And they weren't damage numbers. Okay, here he is. Now that's a Castellan right there. Yeah, so he teleports down with 10 normal Terminators. And just causes havoc in the enemy's back lines. I'm thinking what we want to build next is... I just heard something drop then, and I'm wondering what it was. I felt something. Oh, there's another one of these. Yeah. I'm thinking we want to get the chaplain built now. You're bombing iOS. No, Saradwin, don't do it. Did that even work? The Mechanicus game had me buying the Mechanicus Guitari sets. Yeah, I've got the old Combat Patrol for for the
Skibbity.
Mechanicum at the moment, and Skibbity. I've not built it yet. I wanted to build it like while we were playing Mechanicus, but maybe we'll build it while we're playing Mechanicus too. I have no idea what I really want to do for the colour scheme though. And I know that I want to get 2 more cybernetic data enclaves, whatever they call them. Okay, no, that's definitely a Terminator head, so... Actually, no, it could make a good Graphis head. I want to turn one of my Graphis captains for my heavy detachment into... a chaplain. Like, he's not going to use chaplain stats or anything, he's just going to use the Graphis in captain in Graphis armor stat line. But I thought it would be fun to give him, like, a chaplain head and the Croziark thing, whatever it's called. So I'm thinking of maybe saving this head for that character. And instead we go for the unhelmeted chaplain. Who still has half of a mass. Yeah. Actually, no, we won't even go for the unhelmeted chaplain. What we can do is go for one of these other ones. Hello, Sunshiny Rays. How you doing? The current Mechanicus Combat Patrol is kind of boring. No, it's decent, but it just doesn't have the stuff I wanted in it. It has some of it. But for my Mechanicus stuff, I liked the idea of them being like a techno-archaeologist team on side like the Forge ships that follow my Templars around. And the old Mechanicus set, I feel is a bit more fitting with what I wanted. Hope you had wonderful cupcake dreams of lots of... Yeah, I did. Although my cat kept waking me up. I swear, man, if their units worth a lot more points, they would be more fun to play. I guess so. I think what you're really meant to do with the Adeptus Mechanicus is like go with a bunch of Onager Dune Crawlers and do you know the floaty boys? I think that's really what you're meant to do with them. And then you have a few infantry just following them around. A bit like how people play Necrons in a way, although Necrons themselves aren't exactly cheap models in terms of points. I got a lot of expense there. So maybe that's a bad comparison. I mean, my army for 1,000 points is 3 squads of the cybernetic data enclaves, 3 techno-archaeologists, a dominer, Tech Priest. Or Dominus, whatever they are. Then a... Or what is it? 3 Cataphracti Servitors. Not Cataphracti, Cataphon Terminators. I was getting confused there. Then what else do I have in the list? I'd buy the Mechanicus Combat Tool if it included some Sicklands. Ooh, which one's the Sickland? Oh, is that the Assassin one? Yeah, I got the old one because it had the Onager Dunecrawler in it. And because I found it really cheap on eBay. I've got the Onager Dunecrawler, and what else do I have in the list? It's I think that's it actually. Oh no, then there's 10 Skitarii Vanguard and 10 Skitarii Rangers, both with a Skitarii Marshal. Oh, that goes on either side, doesn't it? Oh yeah, that's cool. It's not good. It's not an amazing list by any means, and it's still a lot of models. But I thought it's still pretty cool. Hello, Malmal. And hello, Erland. How are you both doing? Ow, ow, ow. Thank you for that. Oh, drop this. Okay, this hand is really difficult to trim up because it's curved inside, and that's exactly where the blooming thing was. Sprue connection was. Oh yeah. I think by generally just having lots of characters, I think with Mechanicus they expect you just to throw in lots and lots of characters everywhere. Oh, that's exact how I assume they expect you to play. I could have 2 of, oh there it is. And to go with a bunch of vehicles. But it is weird. How do the shoulders work at the moment? Like that, okay. How does this work with that one? Stormbolt is a normal Stormbolt. Oh yeah, that's it. I wanted the shield with this one. E-glove. No matter how bad your combat patrol spearhead, it cannot be as bad as the Sons of Behemoth, who don't have one. Or is it? No, for Sons of Behemoth, it's 3 Gargants. Isn't it? For like 100 quid. That's not bad, to be honest. I don't think... I wouldn't mind that. Like, that's just having a combat patrol. That's 3... armored. Like, considering how expensive a model used to be as well, and still is. Like, if I was playing fantasy and was just a box that had 3 giants in, I'd be like, you know what, I'm kind of tempted. In fact, I was tempted by it, but instead I bought a Bone Grinder Giant, as in one of the Mega Gargants. Yeah, I don't like his arms, it's so monoposal. That's cool, actually. Oh, that spearhead is absolute dog water. To be fair to them, the only other model that I think the Sons of Behemoth have is as expensive as any other spearhead. So it's that or nothing. Like Imperial Knights don't have a combat patrol. In part because it doesn't really make sense for them to have one. Like the closest they have is if you just buy 2 armigers. Thanks, Debbie Glove. They have like 33% if you buy the spearhead. I mean, that's true for like most of them, I guess. Actually, no, the spearheads are really, really good for Age of Sigmar compared to combat patrols of 40k. $40k combat patrols don't have anywhere near the same savings as Age of Sigmar. Well, some of them. Some of the spearheads aren't quite as good, and some of the combat patrols are really good. But in general, spearheads give you much better savings in terms of money.
That's because 40k sucks, and Age of Sigmar is better.
Never! Never! It's because Age of Sigmar is less popular than 40k, so they use the spearheads as a way of trying to bring people into Age of Sigmar by just saying, look how much you save buying this. And then on top of that, they made Spearhead its own game system, similar to Combat Patrol, but much more fun. Like, put a lot more focus into trying to make Spearhead itself kind of a primary way that you're expected to play Age of Sigmar. Play
Necromunda and Blood Bowl rotting in the corner.
Oh no, Necromunda is not rotting in the corner. Oh my goodness, Necromunda gets so much love. Is that where I was meant to go? That feels too high up. Okay, no, this one definitely goes like... Okay, no, it's on the other side then. So like... There. Necromunda has so many cool models. Blood Bowl also got like massive new starter sets and edition recently. And it's got geese. You can have gnomes that ride geese in the game. Spearhead is a better game to introduce beginners. It's fast paced, less numbers. Yeah, that's what 40k Combat Patrol was meant to be. The fact it didn't turn out like that is a bit of Okay, I have no idea what's happening with you. You definitely go on this one. Yeah, that's correct. You definitely go on this side. Well, people still have the time for full-scale battles, but when you're wanting to get into a game for the first time, the games will take much, much longer. Like, 2 experts playing 40k together can have a 2,000 point game in an hour, 2 hours. I say 1,000, like 3,000 points. You can be very surprisingly quick with it, especially if you're both friends and you don't really... You're not trying to do no rule. Lawyer everything up all the time. When it comes to smaller games though, when it comes to being a new player though, learning the game is in itself a task. That looks a bit too high up. Where's this meant to be then? Here? No. Looks wrong wherever I put it. It should be like that. Oh, it is like that. Never mind, I'm silly. I remember seeing a battle in 2011 where they have 4k points and that looked so cool. Yeah, I had quite a few battles. In the shop I used to play at, they would every so often do an apocalypse day. And it's like people would bring, it would be like 10 to 15,000 points aside. But you got multiple players playing all at once. And each turn is timed. So you actually get through the turns relatively surprisingly quickly. Not too bad at all. Oh, apocalypse, yeah. So for like, they're really fun. But it was like having lots of smaller games going on at once. With the players who brought lots of stuff, often bringing other players in to help them play their stuff. So it's like, hey, I've bought in like 6,000 points. How many points did you bring? It's like, I only brought like 500 points. So it's like, I didn't bring anything today. I was only going to paint. I never knew it was a game. It's like, okay, you can help with me. We'll put all this stuff together then. Take over these 3 super heavy vehicles I've got. Oh gosh. There we go. Oh, look at him. He's looking, he needs another arm. Yeah, when you're new to the game though, even like 500 points can easily take you 2-3 hours. And then it's I don't know. There we go. Hi, Bunny, how you doing? 500 out of 1,000 points sounds best to teach someone. It is. But, it's one of the reasons why starter sets generally only have that many points in, like even for really big ones, because that's what like shops will use. Ow. Thanks, I did drink. I think the main reason Apocalypse died is that there's no real incentive to bring the big boys, but with the centerpieces for it. I kind of guess so. I think the main thing is like games of over 3,000 points take so long to play and so much setup that instead they realize it's like, okay, if people want to bring the big guns, just bring them into smaller games. Just allow it into smaller games, and then that way, because as I said, it's like over 3,000 points, like 4,000-5,000 points, it gets exponentially longer to play, and each turn gets exponentially longer. For every like new 500 to 1,000 points you get. And hi, Nano Fate, how you doing? Kill Team, perfect intro size for people. Yeah, Kill Team's really good. I recommend for anyone who's trying to start out in Warhammer, plays Kill Team. There's no reason not to. You're just checking up on you in chat before going to sleep. Oh, thank you. I hope you have a good sleep, Vanry. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, because Kill Team is great because one of the things that makes Combat Patrol and Spearhead good is like, okay, you want to get into Fantasy or Age of Sigmar, sorry, or 40k, but you're unsure of whether you want to play. Well, buying a Combat Patrol and or starter set or whatever and painting it up isn't the biggest investment. And you still have plenty of fun painting and building stuff, probably. And then you can see if you enjoy playing it by playing those games. And often you can just like play one of those games using somebody else's army just to see if you know, like it. And it won't take you too long. And it's nice. Kill Team, though, I recommend for people because, especially if you buy one of the Kill Team sets that come out, it gives you a bunch of cool lore, gets you into Warhammer. It gives you a team or two to play with. It's only 10 models usually, so it's like setting you back 30 to 40 quid, depending on the Kill Team. There we go. Now that should be relatively nice. Have you always collected Space Marines? I started from way back in 3rd. So, I'm not evil. Oh yeah, Gorlock and like Lehman Russ is on the same level on power scaling wiki. Don't trust power scaling wiki. Although Gorlock is insane in his own right. So, I wouldn't be surprised. But what was it? Yeah, I started technically in 4th. So a friend, I think their uncle or whatever was into 40k, and they had one of the old not Combat Patrol magazines, and one of the old White Dwarf magazines, and they brought it into like primary school, and I saw it and was like, oh my gosh, Tyranids. Because it was it was one of the White Dwarfs that came out around the same time as the Battle of Macragge starter set came out. And I asked my parents, can they get it? But I think at that point, 5th was already out, but they just found it at a random shop. Because, you know, 5th hadn't been out that long. People still had Battle of Macragge sets. So my first set was Battle of Macragge. Although I quickly got into the Tyranids instead of the Space Marines, because the Tyranids intrigued me far more. And when they got like the Battle of Macragge and stuff, I think they also got one of the old metal Broodlords and Sowenfolks. And I absolutely adored Sowenfolks. They're like my favourite thing. I don't think I ever had a Hive Tyrant though. I think I had a Carnifex. And I had a Metal Lictor as well, and his arms always fell off. But then I got into Orcs, because then I was like, ooh, Black Reach, I'll get that. And I was like, oh, I fell in love with the Orcs immediately. I can't remember if I liked the Orcs before getting Black Reach, but then 6 came out, and I was like, 6 isn't really as fun. I introduced a lot of stuff, and I got quite upset because it introduced a lot of stuff that broke my armies. And I think it's with Black Reach that I started Black Templars, because I was unsure what, you know, army I would wanted to turn my Space Marines into. And I saw someone playing Black Templars, and I got to look at their codex, and it was full of like if I had the Holy Grade of Antioch, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. And that started back. Yeet. If you don't know, yesterday I put together for Battle of McCrag set again. Oh, before I put super glue all over this. Oh no. Oh no, the hand. The hand. Ooh. I mean, that looks pretty cool. That's a cool chaplain. Oh my goodness. Yeah, oh gosh, I got super glue all over my finger. I didn't realise. Oh, that bottle is such a mess. But yeah, I've managed to find one of the reprints of Battle of McCrag on eBay pretty cheaply. So I got hold of it. And it's like, I put it together and I was so happy. The Space Marines from it are so tiny though. I want to show you. Like, this is one of the Battle of McCrag Space Marines. He's so tiny, like, comparing to one of the Primaris. He's a baba. Even at the time, he wasn't any bigger than a guardsman. It's like a giant versus... Oh... Bonk. I mean, his weapon's as big as a Battle of McCrag Space Marine. Oh, it's so beautiful. But yeah, what do you think? That chaplain looks cool? I guess not too bad. I think for posing, I guess with the arms, you can pose them in different ways and it just makes the model look way better than what the oh, what's it called suggests? The website, when you just look at the packet with the chaplain on, he looks just so bland and boring. 5'11" versus 6 foot. No. This guy is like anyone below 6'4". That's how tiny he is. This is like me versus a 6'3" person. I want to see an Imperator Titan rushing around on some Heelys. Oh my goodness. Like in lore, or just like someone cosplaying an Imperator Titan. That would be the best cosplay. Imagine going, hey, do you want a game of 40k? It's like, yeah. Do you mind if I bring my Imperator Titan? Like, no. Puts on cosplay, steps on the board. Oh. Ow. Ah. Ah. My finger's covered in glue and I'm trying to get it off. You know, this is like, say how to safely remove glue 101. Don't do this at home. Click this. It feels have you ever like spilt loads of super glue over your finger? It feels really weird when it's all dried.
Stand by for Titanfall. Elbow drops the table. Kasam somehow losing as an Imperator class Titan.
To be fair, I think most Titans in general quite easily lose in the board game. Like, because they're so expensive and have so few guns, they can only point them in so many directions. And especially against anything where... And generally can only specialise your weapons so much. So it's like you might have your left arm is a anti-tank weapon, your right arm is an anti-infantry weapon, and then if you're like Warlord, you got 2 shoulder weapons. Maybe one more anti-tank, one more anti-infantry. Yeah, I mean, usually it dies. Until he points at our monolith and it goes 4+ invulnerable save, I'm fine. Like, darn it, why doesn't my giant weapon have against one-shotted by a Tau? You know, Tau talk about all the aircraft and stuff, but what happens if when they don't have air superiority? Which is actually quite common because Tau aircraft isn't actually that good. Like, it's very good at, like, you know, ground support missions of just like, hey, that's a really big vehicle, let's blow it up. But then when it comes to dogfighting, like Imperial fighters, they actually do end up struggling a little bit, especially when the Imperium is like, do you know those hunt-to-killer missiles? Yeah, our planes have like 20 of them. And they're actually quite good at shooting down other aircraft, including Tau ones. And then as soon as they come across like Eldar, they're like, yeah, we can't actually beat Eldar in air combat. Baldwin, one warlord on equivalent amount of sharks with freaking railguns attached to their freaking heads. Yep, you have a shark. Fire coming in from the east. Acknowledged. Erasing east. Oh yeah, that's how it is. We've also got the I think that's also one of the reasons why the Hellrathane armigers exist. So that our head gunships with railguns. Yeah, I know what you meant. Railguns would generally when it comes to Titans, even in lore, the equivalent number of just like anti-tank weaponry, just taking a load of that is better than the Titan. But you generally deploy a Titan to places where it's going to dominate. So in lore, often where you'll see a Titan, the equivalent things that will be able to face it will be like half of the Titan's worth. Or, you know, there'll be like 10 Titans and a massive army, and the army by itself would be difficult to fight, but now it's got Titans supporting it. But that's generally the order of like how most of the factions will generally be fighting. They're not going to be fighting an equivalent force to themselves. The vast majority of factions will be like, oh look, that's an equivalent force to us. Let's avoid fighting that. Let's fight it when we've got superiority. Or if we are going to fight it, make sure we ambush it or only fight parts of it. Hi Matty, I hope you're okay. Check your fire alarms or your gas alarms. Titans usually only deploy to counter enemy Titan scale threats, but they try to play with smaller support assets, especially if anti-Titan forces have been sighted. Yeet. Wait, I thought Titans often deployed when what do I want here? I want this one and these two. I thought they most usually deployed I say most usually. They quite often deployed when they want to just overwhelm the enemy. They didn't necessarily need like an equivalent Titan scale threat. Ba-dum. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream, everybody. There we go. So I needed to get the glue off my little finger so I could actually feel things again. Too many terminators, too many cuts. Never! Never! Hi, Evan IT. There's no such thing as too many terminators. We need as many as we can. Why? I'm not entirely sure why we need that many. But we do. We do. Because if we don't, the Xenos win. The heretics win. You know, it would be way cooler if I was building these Terminators with the idea that I'm like trying to mimic some like chapter's first company or whatever. But no, I'm just like, hey, this is my Crusades, random Terminators that they have. It's usually a defense that needs shattering, that only a Titan can bring the firepower to bear, or Titan level threats. If you want to steamroll an enemy force, you're more likely to the counter stuff. Shadow swords don't only hunt Titans. Yeah. I thought for like times when they deployed against the Tau, where it was basically just, this is taking too long, we want to obliterate them, send the Titans. I know at Armageddon the orcs had gargants and stompers and stuff, so obviously Titans can be used to fight them. And then Forge Roads are like liable to deploy like any Titans that they actually have access to. Just because, you know, they have Titans. And they need to defend the Forge Road. Or, well, any sort of world that already has, like, Titans on the planet are liable to deploy them in the defense of said planet. Titans are such a massive commitment to a thing, it's difficult enough to rope in a pack of hounds to war, let alone anything bigger. Yeah, I think that's why you generally see them in Crusades. Like, if you're going to do a full-scale Crusade, which I think is effectively what they did with the Tower, isn't it? It was a Democracies Crusade or something. And they had multiple Space Marine chapters, massive Imperial Guard forces, Imperial Knights, and Titans. Like, it was a massive commitment, but that's because they were doing a full-scale crusade. And the same goes for, like, other places where you often see Titans, but they don't necessarily have Titan threats or whatever. Or, again, like the defense of a Forge Road that already has Titans there. I might be incorrect about that. It might be that they bring the Titans on the Crusade, but hope to not have to use the Titans, and will only do so when the Crusade reaches like a crescendo. and whatever for facing requires that fit.
Damocles Crusade. Poor Empyrean thought they could steamroller Xeno's race like the good old days. That meant force concentration for Tau.
Yeah. Arguably, the if a crusade could have succeeded, if, you know, they didn't have to then divert the entire crusade force. Or at least that was originally how the law was. I think the law has changed a little bit to basically be fairer to the Tau. Like, I've heard people saying the they kind of ran for themselves in the spear of the Tau. That's what the Imperium does, though. That's just how they fight wars. I think the Imperial Fist and Raven Guard Battle Patrol are decent. What do you think? Oh, I did an entire video about it all. I love the Imperial Fist Combat Patrol. I got one of them, and I got the Raven. I love both of them. Both of them offer you decent savings. The Imperial Fist one does come with the Imperial Fist upgrade sprue, but only half of it. Normally you get like 2 of them, instead you just get 1 of them, and it's kind of small, and, you know... Where is it? Where's my... Like, this is the upgrade sprue you get. When I thought it had, like, the full thing, I thought it was, like, really good savings, but... It wasn't the full thing. Hey, the Rohirrim charged for headlong into a pike wall, and it worked for them. But yeah, the Imperial Fist Combat Patrol, very nice, very nice. I also absolutely love the Company Heroes box set. It's even if you don't want to build the Company Heroes squad, and it's a nice squad, it's not specialized. It does a bit of combat really well. It does a bit of shooting really well. But otherwise you can build like a lieutenant, an ancient, a captain, and all sorts from it. I just really love it. It's really good for kit bashing. One of the best boxes for this. For the Raven Guard one, it's full boss. It's really good if you're wanting to start Raven Guard, or if you're like me and you want the various bits in it for your different armies. Well, that being said, it's like everything within it is really good in Vanguard deployment or Vanguard detachment. Because you can give your assault captain the Vanguard deployment, not Vanguard deployment, an enhancement that gives them infiltrate, which means you can put them like really deep into the battlefield and just immediately get a first turn charge with your assault marines, assault intercessors. And with jump pack assault intercessors, they get every single model in the unit roll a dice on a 4+. You inflict 1 mortal wound and return the charge. Really quite good. The Phobos Marines can be built as either... Well, you can build them as 2 squads of 5, as the... one of them as... Oh, what's it called? You got the Infiltrators and you got the Incursors, I think they're called. I really like both of them. One of them gets Haywire Mines and can, you know, destroy vehicles. The other one blocks your opponent coming in and like deep striking or whatever in the middle of your lines. Infiltrate, vanguard deployment, potato, potato, yeek. So, at the moment, the vehicle you get with a Raven Guard isn't that great. It's decent. I definitely think it's decent, especially if you're playing in the combat patrol setting. In the 40k setting, or the 40k game, it's not as good. I can't remember what it's called. The ENvtuber Warsuit, I think it's called. I really like the model. I think it's cool, and in the future it might be really good. At the moment, it's not as bad as people say it is. It's relatively cheap for what it is. It gets quite a bit of firepower with its heavy bolter and autocannon or flamethrower, so it can massively tear through infantry. And it gets the Dreadnought stat line in melee, meaning it can tear apart enemy vehicles. And it's not going to be caught up in melee too easily. Especially if you fit it with a flamethrower. The only issue is if you fit it with a flamethrower, it's going to be less useful than the autocannon for its special ability. Because its special ability is if a Phobos unit near it gets hurt, or gets shot at, it can get a free shooting at the enemy. And that's a bit useless when you got a flamethrower that can't reach the enemy. But when you got a big old autocannon, it can reach the enemy. But if you're using it as like your primary melee thing of like tearing into enemy vehicles or whatever, it can be used quite well for that. And Dreadnoughts always have an issue of the enemy will just throw a bunch of infantry at it and it will stop it where it is. Effectively, it can't really run away from them easily. It's stuck in melee. It can shoot, but then it's shooting at -1. But by giving the ENvtuber Warsuit the flamethrower, it can shoot into its own melee, get lots of shots, automatically hitting and just wipe out that unit in just 1 or 2 turns. And that's what makes it powerful. But again, it still has that issue of it's not the best, really. Okay, I'm just finding a shoulder pad that's going to be good here. Yeah, you're fine. Glue all over this thing. I wonder if there's like a split in the glue somewhere. That's why it's leaking so much. Oh gosh, there we go, it came out. Yeah. I think we're both good. Imperial Fist one definitely is better though, in terms of savings. In terms of just having a playable army from it. Unless you're playing Combat Patrol, in which case Raven Guard's really good. Because you got a toughness 9 vehicle. I can pretty much deal with any threat that you'll face in Combat Patrol. I might not be generally the best person to give an opinion on Combat Patrol stuff because I really like the Iron Hand one. I got 2 of them. But that being said, I just absolutely adore Graphis Marines. So obviously I was going to get a bunch of them. Why do I have to have a plaster dirt on my thumb? It makes it very difficult to line these things up. I do feel like they really missed something with the combat patrols though. And that's they didn't include the, like the Raven Guard combat patrol, the Iron Hands one and the Salamander one don't come with their respective upgrades through. And I feel like they without a doubt should have done. There's like absolutely no reason not to. Especially considering the fact that their upgrade sprues are kind of overpriced for what they are. Like, especially when you compare them to the Templar upgrade sprue or some of the other ones. It's like, yeah, they could have easily just included it in. It would have barely cost them anything. And would have given people more incentive to buy it. Especially, you know, people who want to play the army that the combat patrol is advertising itself as being. That might just be me being a bit silly. I like spearheads more than combat patrols because most combat patrols lack a centerpiece. Yeah, that is actually relatively true. A lot of combat patrols don't have that cool centerpiece model. That being said, my favourite spearhead is the Night Goblin one. And that doesn't really have a centerpiece model. It does have a couple of cool models. It has the big old Troggoths in it, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're centerpiece. Worthy.
The girl with all the models.
Oh gosh, yeah, there's glue coming out of the side of this. That's why I'm struggling. There we go. Yeah, I don't have all of the models, just most of the models. Yeah, some of them do, like the Raven Guard one has a centerpiece model. The Imperial Fist has the company hero. Some of the Chaos ones have like the Demon Prince in them, which I think is really cool for centerpiece models. There he is. Oh, yeah. He's got that cool swagger walk. Accidentally, he has to have his arms wider so he doesn't accidentally cut his own legs off.
Capcan's body is a machine that turns money into more gobos. Such is the life of the Gobo Fiend.
Yeah, a Gobbo Fiend, not Gobo, Gobbo. Gobbo Cuptle. Gobos! I love goblins. I got 5,000 points of orcs and goblins for Old World. I've also got 5,000 points of dwarves if we have something to fight. Need a finished building for dwarves though. We're going to be hopefully finishing from in a member stream on Wednesday. Yeah. But what combat patrols currently have a center? The worst one is just a basic Space Marine combat patrol. That's terrible at the moment. Sure, never released it as a combat patrol. Because you just buy a starter set, you get the same stuff in it.
I want to play as a goblin in Pathfinder.
I played Pathfinder. But you should play as a goblin. Goblins are the best. Yeah, my orcs and goblins, it's got 1,500 points of night goblins. 1,500 points of like these elite mercenary orcs. But they've also got like 20 hobgoblins. And then there's 2,000 points of like the main orc army. Like it's meant to represent like a tribe started a war and these other tribes joined it. So this night goblin tribe called the Red Loonies joined. And this like orc mercenary tribe joined them. It has a bone grinder giant in that one. But what else is there? Oh yeah, there's how many goblins is there in the normal force? I think it's 40 goblin archers in the normal army. 40 goblin archers. And how many goblins are in the night goblin force? I think there's 40 spearmen, 40 archers, 20 squig.
So if you want more modeling streams and are prone to poor financial decisions, you should become a member.
Yeah, you should become a member. If you're prone to poor financial decisions. Actually, no, you should. If you're not prone to poor financial decisions and you've got more than enough money to spend, you should become a member. But if you're struggling for money, you shouldn't. You need to keep that money for yourself. Yeah. We will eventually, once I've built all the dwarves, I'm going to start painting all of the orcs and goblins on the member streams. We're going to start, I think, with just like a test model. And then we're going to paint the big old boss. No, well, it's not actually going to be a big old boss. It's going to be one of the bosses, but it's like the centerpiece model. Or one of the centerpiece models. Who is an orc shaman on a wyvern, and it's converted from one of the Age of Sigmar models, you know, from one of the starter sets, where it's like on this big old doggo looking thing, but I gave it wings on a Demon Prince kit. I can't make poor financial decisions because I don't have anything to make the poor financial decisions with. Yeah. You know, that's a good thing. No, I mean, maybe not a good thing. But don't make poor financial decisions. Make good ones. The best financial decision you can make is invest in cola, because as long as I'm drinking cola, the stocks are just going to keep going up and up and up. And you'll be able to tell when the stocks are about to go up whenever I'm feeling down or ill or whatever, because I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling too well. I got a big old headache. I'm just going to drink like 20 bottles of cola. And then the cola stocks are like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And then when I'm feeling better, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop drinking as much cola. And then it goes into emergency mode for what's it called? Just Coca-Cola companies like, emergency, our profits are down 200%. Like, how? Cupcon, stop drinking cola as much. It's down to only 30 cans a day. Oh, cannot fall to temptation if you have nothing to give into temptation. Oh. Yeah, that's the position I'm currently in at the moment as well. It's like, I would make some bad there's a large thing of me wanting to make bad financial decisions and buy more of the cool Warhammer sets. But I can't buy the new cool Warhammer sets. Oh. I'm gonna have to wait a few months before I can buy anything. Oh, there we go. There we go. Nuka-Cola addiction. Nuka-Cola is the best cola. Actually, no. No. Well, when we were playing Fallout for Nuka-Cola all of the time, I'm really sad they did that update that just broke all of my mods. And I was thinking about maybe going back in and, you know, doing a new save with new mods and stuff, just starting from scratch
Cry me
again.
a river with this cannot buy stuff. You're proudly touting 102 Terminators right now. What are you on about?
Yeah, because I can't. Why do you think I can't buy anything else at the moment? I literally spent all my money on 102 Terminators and for bits to convert them. I'm like, I would get this new Warhammer stuff, but I can't because I bought all this Warhammer stuff. Also, Christmas hit. And I forgot about Christmas into my financial planning. I'm like, oh yeah, Christmas. That's, I heard Scott's got their own fried bread. We love fried bread. Oh my god. Have to walk until the 24th and they fix an update. Yeah, I am probably just not going to play Fallout for a long time. I was also thinking about playing Skyrim, but honestly, it completely puts my faith in, you know, Bethesda not doing some stupid update down the drain. I'm like, yeah, I can't be bothered. I'm just not going to deal with it anymore. How many did you spend to get those Terminators sets? Not as much as you'd think, because I basically only bought them if I could get like a saving of 20 to 25% on them. But I bought 4 of the big Terminators. For Terminator Crux boxes.
I wish I was fantastically rich enough to give out donations and gifts.
Yeah. Same. Oh, there we go. I mean, I have one big advantage though, and that is what is my big advantage? I forgot. Oh yeah, I like have nothing to spend any money on other than what I've basically got here. Because I have no life. The advantages of no life. You can spend money on whatever you want. Oh. Although actually my rent went up like 10%. That's the other thing. It's like I spent all of this money getting Terminator Crux stuff. It's like, yeah, rent's up like 10%. Is it 10%? No, 20%. 20%. Like, okay, yeah. There we go. I have no idea how much it would be in euros. It was a lot of money. I'd have been saving for a while. There we go. Wait, are you in America? No, I'm in Britain. But I don't know how much euros are. I don't know how much it would have been in euros. Because I don't know what the price difference is. Because I know it's more expensive outside of Britain. Like, especially when you get to Australia and New Zealand, Warhammer just becomes ridiculously expensive. I mean, for UK, where Warhammer's at its cheapest. Because that's where it's made. There we go. But yeah. There we go. One Great British Pound to 1.14 euros as of this minute. Yeah, but then you've also got to take into account, look at him, he's about to swap. Yeah. Or he looks this way and is instead looking up like, to victory, my friends, to victory. I kind of like that look. Yeah, he could be going to victory. But yeah, you've also got to take into account that usually Warhammer pricing is get outside of Britain and you could first you have to convert like Great British Pound to euros or whatever, then add like another percentage for basically it being shipped over to another country. And that's incorporated into the pricing of Warhammer in those countries. But yeah, it was very expensive. Hello, Night Parade. No, no. I want to say, do you go here? Like that. Or do you go under? Like that. Oh, under looks better. I'm more amazed that I knew roughly 10% between pound and... I used to know a lot of it, but the this year has been crazy for finances and like the British pound versus the euro has changed quite a lot over this year. Up and down, up and down. And usually it's not because Britain's doing better or Europe's doing better, it's usually just once. It's like, hey, look, this massive financial crisis happened. In Britain, oh look, Germany just had a financial issue. Oh look, France is having a financial issue. And then you got America just being crazy. It's like, yeah, this is just trying to figure out the general pricing or the difference between the different currencies a lot harder. Which is fair enough. America just being crazy has been a mood for years. It has been a mood for years, but especially this years financially. And global economy thing. Gold has gone up massively in price this year, though, because you know, all the financial uncertainty has led a lot of countries
It's
to be,
fine.
you know,
If everyone's economy is in free fall, then everything stays the same. Nothing changes.
yeah. Actually, a lot of things changes. Mostly just prices of everything goes up, while wages are going down. Wages go down, prices go up. Not great. Oh, so, but why are we talking about economies? Well, yeah, gold's gone up in price because of all the financial uncertainty. So lots of countries have invested in gold again, and lots of people have invested in gold again, which has caused the price to skyrocket this year. Especially as people have lost uncertainty in the dollar, and as a result, a lot of places that once had like a lot of effectively a lot of their finances secured within the dollar, basically just released it and went, buy gold, a lot more financially certain, until we find a big mine full of gold. That's just how these things happen. But what are we doing? But yeah, not having kids, not drinking anything but cola and water. Living with family. I'm very fortunate. And I'm just not going outside, so I don't need to bother with things like cars, public transport, all of those money sinking issues.
You function on the gold standard, I function on the Tanzanite standard. We are not the same.
I mean, to be fair, functioning on the gold standard has not always been a good idea. I think I've mentioned it before on the streams, but if you actually look at the price of gold and then take into account inflation over the past 100 years, for quite a long time, gold was kind of dropping in value. And not becoming something that, you know, like, sure, the price of gold was increasing, but you have to take into account, yeah, inflation also increased. Once a pound coin could get you so much, or a single dollar could buy so much, now it can't. So it was actually losing a lot of value, and much of this came from a lot of financial certainty. So a lot of countries just, well, not just financial certainty, but mixtures of financial certainty and economic crashes. So countries would basically sell off all of their gold reserves and then invest into things like the dollar, invest into their own currencies and stuff like that. And that meant that you had lots and lots of gold very quickly going into the market. And the entire attitude of, you know, buy gold, invest in gold, was kind of not really around for quite a long time. And instead you saw more people selling gold and stuff. Then the gold prices went up with the rise of computing and electronics and stuff, because gold was useful there. Other than the gold prices went down again once they started realizing, hey, we don't actually need to use gold. So it's an interesting market to look at. Then you had things like platinum and other rare metals, which people decided would be fun to invest into. There we go. Oh. Yeah, I get distracted easily. I apologize. What do we want to do now? I need... You know what? Get one of these. Get one of these. Yeah. And then where's his booty? There's his booty. Look, big old booty. The booty actually isn't as uncovered. I should expect us to look. We have that little plate at the back. You can still see the booty underneath. Oh. Why did I get onto... What do you know the housing crisis? Don't get me onto the economic stuff. I'm an economist at heart. I'm not an economist at heart. I'm an author. Oh, there we go. Then what do we have? We have... How many Terminators have we got built today so far? We've got 4 Terminators built today. And we're on to the 5th one. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of pieces in these Terminators though. Really cool models. I wish, well, I say I wish that they were more like the Saturnine Terminators. Which, if you don't know, the Saturnine Terminators, like the leg is made out of lots and different bits. So we got a ball joint for the foot, and the foot separate. In fact, actually, the foot's made from 3 pieces. You got the toe section, the heel section, and then like this ball section. And then that goes into 2 pieces that form the bottom half of the leg, which goes into a knee, which goes into... Oh no, it goes into the top half of the leg, which includes a knee. And that's for both legs. And then they can like swivel on the joint that connects to the hips. And as a result, you can really position them in any way you want. Really, really cool. It means it takes forever to build them. And you might want to use green stuff or blue tack or something just to hold them in place while they're drying. But it makes it very fun. It allows you to have lots of unique poses and do whatever you want. And the arms are the exact same way. But I think the reason 40k doesn't get many models like that is because 40k is meant to be much more beginner friendly. So the models generally have a lot less posability because those models are very difficult to build. Like, I've seen lots of people complain about the Saturnines Terminators and how difficult they are to build. That's because Horus Heresy is just filled with models like that. We're done 2 Terminators. A Hand of Death, hello! It's just enough to equip a chapter Spectrum first company. Yeah, and many chapters can't do that. But do you know the fun thing is I'm building 102 Terminators, but I already had 25. So I've actually got 127 terminators. I just already had 25, but because 10 of them come, no, 6 of them come from the Saturnine box set. No, 7 of them, sorry. Then 12 or 13 of them come from Leviathan. Yeah. And the Combat Patrol magazine. There we go. Oh, he's got a little thing. Got a little thing. That sounds rude. You need one more for this company or for Crimson Fists. But no, we're playing Black Templars, and it's meant to just... I was trying to build like 30,000 points of Black Templars for my little crusade. That wasn't so little, and it ended up becoming 40,000. And for some reason, I decided, you know what, it would be fun to put a bunch of to make like a Terminator detachment for my crusade. And it's become a bit of a crazy thing. It's meant to be a small crusade of just 1,000 Marines. You know, just a small crusade. Oh no, I never forgot. I've got the captain in Terminator armor. Oh, the Horus Heresy one, who goes with my relic Terminators. The Cataphracti ones. So yeah, I've already have 26. Oh yeah, I forgot, he's meant to have a little stone, doesn't he? That he stands on. Can never have enough Sons of Dawn, that's true. That's true. Can never have enough Templars. Except right now, I've spent too much money on Space Marines. I'm avoiding, like, buying anything. Except necessities for a little while. I've gone a bit overzealous. Oh gosh. No. Yeah, I'm gonna go with these 2 arms. Space Marines.
Remember when this crusade was sent off to some backwater system so it would fall on its face? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah. I mean, that's still the case, but is now it didn't fall on its face. Instead, it just somehow prospered ridiculously. So which Loyalist Primarch do you think will return next? I feel like Russ and Dawn are the 2 that need to come about. Like, if each of the Chaos factions has their Primarch, the Blood Angels have their Sanguinar, although the current Sanguinar kind of sucks. Then the Codex Supplement chapters should also have their Primarch, and I think Dawn should return for the Black Templars. Like, he should come back a changed person and be like this crazed zealot, effectively, who doesn't really get along with the others. Russ should come back as, you know, the crazy. As a lot more level-headed and calm, a bit like how Lionel Johnson came back. Those are the two I think should come back, but I'm unsure who they'll do next. Vulcan seems like a slam dunk for coming back. I've heard lots of rumours about Ferrous Manors, but you can't trust rumours. Yeet, it's like doing Nitchu. I always trust rumours. But yeah, Vulcan seems like a slam dunk because it will be really easy lore-wise to bring him back. Like, it makes a lot of sense to bring him back. You don't really need to think hard about it to why he will come back. Stan just needs to find those last few artifacts. What I would like if Vulcan returns is for him to be like super anti-Imperium, like Xenos friendly. Because I think that's like the last bit of character growth that Vulcan needs to be, you know, the actual nice guy. To get to the point of, you know what? I once killed an Eldar child, innocent child. I'm never doing that again. Trust me, Horace will return next, and he'll be have a head full of hair, and he'll get mad if you ask him about it. I mean, lore accurate Horace right there. Jagatai returns with a harem of elves. Able to beat him in a race, so you know that they must be cool. Jagatai could be cool to return, like, with the help of the Eldar. Like some Harlequins save him from the Dark Eldar. Oh, do you know he gets like effectively picked up by Euphrain? But when it comes to the chapters that are more Codex compliant, I'm more hesitant about their Primarchs being the next ones to come back. And I hope it's not them coming back, because the Codex already has Skullerman. He'll be reinforced with a novel, Horace Goes to Turkey. No, reintroduced. I don't know if Turkey really exists as its own thing anymore in the 40k universe. There we go, that's cool. He went there for a hair transplant plant. No, I don't think he did. But elves. What other Primarchs are there? I can see like the Chaos Space Marines actually getting a proper Primarch of themselves. Like, I mean, I know they already have Primarch level things. Abaddon's not really Primarch level. I mean, he gets beaten up by just a generic Marshal. But you do have that demon prince dude who's kind of that level. But it would be nice to see, I guess, Perturabo come back. I have heard rumours about Perturabo as well. And if they bring Perturabo back, they should bring Dawn back at the same time. Well, for Primarchs, you got Logar. And Logar would be such a good one for the word bearers. And I think if they're going to introduce any of the other Demon Prince Primarchs, Logar has to be the first one back. I'm sorry, whatever you think of Logar, it just makes the most sense to me. Because you've got the word bearers, who are one of the more important and bigger legions of traitors. You've got the Carvers is technically back, as we know where he is. Yeet. If Logar comes back, then Carvers has to come back. Yeah, I'm thinking, if they're going to do something like that, I think they'll bring Logar and Perturabo back at the same time as Carvers and Dawn. And perhaps maybe have a third Primarch come back for either side. But I'm unsure which Primarch would be left for... What would the Primarch be left for Chaos? Alfarius? Well, that would be such a weird one to bring back. And you don't know if he's going to be on the traitor side or the loyalist side. Yeah, Logar's the biggest pushover, but he's also like the biggest motivational one in terms of like, if you want your armies to be motivated to fight, Logar is your go-to guy. Who's the other one? You've already got 4 for Primarchs. You've already got Angron. You've already got Magnus, Fulgrim, and who else is for Mortorion? Conrad's dead. He's not coming back. I don't even think Night Lord players want Conrad back. No, I think what would happen is, because you've currently got 4 Primarchs back for the Chaos, for the Traitors, and you've only got 2 Primarchs back for the Loyalists, I think that if Dawn comes back, that's when you have Perturabo come back. We'll release both at the same time. Logar and Corvus will come around at the same time again. I think before then, Jagatai and Lehman Russ will come back. I have heard of the Iron Hands Ferrous Manus coming back, but I really don't like that idea personally. Partly just because the Iron Hands don't even like Ferrous Manus, and the Iron Hands don't even get along very well. They don't like one another. Or they wouldn't like one another. I mean, Ferrous Manus would be the way that you'd bring back the Legion of the Damned. And I imagine that if they brought back Ferrous Manus as a Legion of the Damned, and the Legion of the Damned with him, he can go into any Space Marine army, regardless of chapter. I think that's how they'll do him if they brought him back. Conrad can stay dead. I love my Night Lords. Conrad Curve can stay dead. I'd actually be visibly upset if they brought back Conrad. And I think, honestly, most Night Lord players will be the same. I think the people who will be most upset to buy it is Night Lord players. Hi, Kodiak. It would be interesting to see Perturabo and Logar come back. I hope Dawn would make an appearance of Perturbo's return. Yeah. I could imagine. Because we don't know where Dawn is, other than he got transported into the warp. Well, the thing that I think would happen is Logar and Perturabo come back at the same time. And at the same time, Corvus and... Well, I say at the same time, you probably have months apart. You have 2 Primarchs coming out at once, then a few months later the other 2 Primarchs. But in stories, they would return at the same time. You'd have Corvus return, along with Perturabo and Logar, and Dawn will return, and I think Corvus might save Dawn. Because I think, isn't Dawn trapped in the warp somewhere? And it wouldn't surprise me if he's like being trapped by Logar or Perturabo or something. Or he's hidden and Corvus will find him and bring him back. That's how I'd imagine it. But when he comes back, he'll be a changed man. Like where everyone else came back calmer than they were before. Dawn's just going to be a raging maniac who like saw the God Emperor's true form in the warp or something and it saved him. They come back at the same time and they kiss. No! How do you think Gulliman's reunion with Lime? I think it would actually go surprisingly calmly. I think both of them would think that the other is a trick of chaos. And wouldn't trust one another at first. But from what I've read, I've not actually read the books. So you'll have to bear that in mind. I want to read the books, I've just not gotten around to it. And I don't have the books, because books are expensive. And I need to buy plastic. Dawn disappeared fighting on a space hook or enemy ship. They only found his hand. Yeah, I thought he got trapped in the warp for some reason. But I think that the reunion will probably go relatively well. Because Lionel Johnson's a lot calmer than he used to be. Just like Lionel Richie. But he's a lot calmer than he used to be, and Dawn is also just a lot more, even more open than he was before. And both of them kind of want to bring about change to their respective chapters and to the Imperium. So I think the two, once they calm down and recognise that both of them are real, will be... I can only imagine it will go relatively well. Unless Cinch gets involved and tricks both of them. So both of them think that they met the other, but in reality both of them have been tricked from the beginning. Lion is going to find Gulliman and he's going to see how ultra depressed he is and he's going to wonder what in terror did I miss. Oh... Surprisingly, not as much as you'd think. I'm trying to look for 1, 2, 3. No, it's not fallen off anywhere. Well, either way, I've got loads of these things. Lion Son of a Forest is a good read. So I've heard. Heard a lot of the Indomitus era books are really good. Dark Imperium and stuff as well. I'm not a cat. Will Constantine Falador eventually return? Wait, which one's that one? Isn't Falador the custodian? I thought he was already returned. Am I thinking of someone else? Chaos tried tricking the lion after he woke up with versions of Primarch. He realised they were fake because the punch he got from Magnus was too strong. To be fair, if you look at the stats right now, Magnus hits like a truck. We trained this monkey to understand the logistics of the Empire and immediately jumped out the window, but it's Gulliman. Oh. Let me show you a map. No, I don't even look like it. I'm not an actor. I'm a cupcake in spirit and in flavour. Hand fell to the floor. Guys, do you need a hand? Magnus did nothing wrong. Look, Magnus is the reason we don't have nice things. There we go. Magnus put a gun to my head and forced me to buy this many terminators. I didn't want to. I had to take out 6 mortgages to get them. It ruined my credit score. Baldo's original Custodes leader. He's currently hidden in a pocket dimension as the King in Yellow, building an army for unknown reasons. For some reason I thought he was still around. All this big brain smart guy in us, Magnus is a moron. I can tell you a lot of smart people who were morons. Often smart people make the biggest mistakes because they're too used to being smart and being right. But they don't think that maybe they're wrong this time.
Tell us one.
Tell us one. Tell us one of these guys, but I don't think you'll know them. I mean, you could probably just list off a bunch of tech bros. I thought I'd argue that they aren't that intelligent, to be honest, but still. The intelligent guy who makes bad decisions goes to another school. You wouldn't know that, but I mean... I'm an intelligent person who makes plenty of bad decisions. Do you forget that I did physics? Oh, I kind of want to put like a skull in the hand now, or like a tyrannid head with the spine attached going... Bleh. Should I do that? Should I? Sometimes I feel like a well-educated idiot. No, it doesn't fit very well. I wonder if the Custodes have the capacity to betray the Emperor. They seem incapable quite a bit. I don't know. They probably do have a capacity to betray the Emperor, but that's a good point. They might not actually have that capacity. He thought he knew better and kept warp experimenting after Nikia. Yeah. That's how a lot of people do it. Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. He's an idiot. There you go. That's the only one I need to say. Although he's a fictional character. If there are other people I could say, but that would, I think, count for slander. So... why is he missing a knee pad? He shouldn't be missing a knee pad. Did one of his knee pads fall off the sprue? Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was looking for this knee pad, but it had fallen off the sprue and was in the box. Sheldon is hilarious. Sheldon is just autistic. You know, a lot of smart people are autistic. And they make a lot of bad decisions. Especially social decisions. I should know. I'm autistic. He just wants a big old hug. Give me a hug. Give me a hug, brother. Oh, big hugs to you, brother. Big hugs to you, brother. Big hugs to you. And to you. And to you. And to... oh no, I accidentally sliced you part of my big old claws. No. And then they have a funeral. Except for brother was pranking the entire time. He never actually died. A light counter says 22. Do we have 22 Terminators? So far, this is the 6th Terminator we've built so far. Every like on this stream, Talan will do another press up. Oh. Most liked stream ever. To jail you go. No! You promised you'd do press-ups. In all seriousness, I think Alfarius is on Cupcake's work table there. What do you mean? There's no Alfarius here. There's no Alfarius. Ah, no, don't steal my model. Unless you mean this guy's Alfarius. Grab. Pick up. And throw. You just
excuse me, are you gonna finish that Terminator?
No. You can't have it. It's mine. Oh yeah, I'm onto something here. We are all Alfarius, as it turns out. No, we're not all Alfarius. Cuptle would never betray me and pretend and find out that for Alfarius. Would you, Cuptle? Cuptle says no. You just can't see it. Alright. I'm in pain. There we go. Alfarius is my favorite friend. Alfarius. Have a fairy and Alfarius. He's such a kind man. Ow, I just hit my thingy again. There we go. And by thingy, I mean my thumb. My thumb. The biggest of thingies. So you can, maybe you can hang from the front. The tabletop game, how useful are Primarchs if you use them on a match? Chaos Primarchs, very, very good. But my only experience of Angron is tabling him in like a single turn. Like, I say tabling him. I killed him from full wounds down to 0 in a single round of combat with my captain. In Gravis armor, because I'm using Black Templar army. Godhammer. Yeah, he didn't do very well. But generally, especially, I've heard Mortarion and Magnus especially are very, very powerful. Fulgrim, I've heard, he's decent, but he's not like super competitive. You can make a competitive list with him, but he's not like an auto take. Where I've heard Mortarion and Magnus. I don't know if they still are, but I've heard that they're auto takes. Like, as long as the points limit allows it. Because they're just so powerful and work so well for the army. Gulliman, I'm not sure. I've heard Lionel Johnson's really, really good. Because there's not much that he can go. There's not much in the game that he can't just beat effectively. Or so I've been told. It's just good. Angron, I'm really not sure about Angron though, and about Gulliman. I've never really seen Gulliman on the battlefield. I mean, he gets the lone operative if he's close to one of his own units, which I think gives him a bit of an advantage. But as a melee threat, or Primarch level melee threat, he is kind of just okay. He has his little command aura thing that he has going on, which isn't too bad. But I'm not sure he's like amazing. He's not exactly super hard to kill from what I've seen of his stats, so maybe. I do find it funny how confusing and hilarious Alpha Legion hijinks can get. Yeet. Often they end up like tricking themselves though. I guess that makes it even funnier. Like, not even they really know what's going on. And Siege wouldn't have it any other way. I think Angron needs a bit of a strength upgrade, to be honest. How's Lieutenant Titus of the Ultramarines now captain of the second company? They've actually got a story on the Warhammer website about it. Well, it's not really a story. They've got like a timeline of all the events of how they happened and how Titus became captain of the second company again. Effectively, Ackerman and Chiron were both part of an attack dealing with gene steal. Well, they were on a world that was meant to be like, you know, an imperial world and stuff, only to find out there was a gene stealer cult on this planet, on this hive. And Ackerman, or whatever his name is, Ackerman, trapped himself and his men inside the hive with the gene stealer cult. Trapping the gene stealer cult and preventing it spreading any further. By the time reinforcements came to help out, the Marines had all died. But they dealt a heavy toll to the gene stealer cult before dying. I mean, it's not really, they weren't really done dirty, because Ackerman is not really a character. I'm just going to say that. He's a generic Phobos captain. Like, the model for him is based on the generic Phobos captain. That's literally all it is. I don't think there was any intent to basically make him a canon character originally when they conceived him, and the same goes with Chiron. Chiron was just to be fair to basically be the person that stopped what's his name going full Leandros. As much as we might like them from the game, they're barely real characters. We only have a little bit of story really going on with them. It's common, just Games Workshop way of dealing with that sort of stuff. And on top of that, there's plenty of actual named characters who had models, who had stories, who then just got killed off screen. Games Workshop likes to do that a lot. Especially when they want to do a very quick retcon of something, such as they want Titus to now be a captain. We need to fix it. So that's what they'll do. And we might get a story for them still. We might see their story in Space Marine 3. Or they might release a short story with it in. Although I am still of the, like, Ackerman, I can fully see why they got rid of him and they didn't even bother doing a story though. Like, he is not a unique model. He's a generic captain character. In fact, I have the count. Let me get it. I've got it here. If you build this normally, it will just be Acheron. Like, where is he? Where's his head? That's just Acheron's head. You can see it's just that dude. But they don't want to give him the light of day because he was never meant to be anything more than just, hey, buy our plastic models. I hope the captain ended up in a dreadnought. Imagine an angry dreadnought yelling in a Scottish. That would actually be hilarious, but from the sound of it, it looks like he perished. Lieutenant Titus though is now a captain. Chiron, on the other hand, I'm not sure. He wasn't really that much of a generic model. But because he lacks a hairstyle, and because he has similar, I think the reason they got rid of him is because, as I said before, conspiracy theory time. I fully think it's because they wanted the guy from Secret Level who has a much better story and a better connection to Titus, you know, being the guy who first recruited him. They wanted to bring him about, and they didn't want people getting confused between him and Chiron. So that's how I imagine it. Or at least that's what the conspiracy theorist in me says. Which will be sad if that's the case. I imagine a large part of it is that trying to make a unique model for him would be just, I don't know. At least What's-His-Face had a relatively unique looking hairstyle. I can't even remember his name. The guy who came back. Potentially, no. Akaran was killed off because, like, I'll show you. I'll go to the website. I'll show you what he looks like. I'll show you what the generic, this is an unnamed character that can be used in any army. Sorry, it takes forever for the website to load for me sometimes. Warhammer 40k, Space Marines. Just go Dark Angels here. And we will soon find Captain Akaran. Phobos, guys. Phobos. There he is. Oh my goodness, look who it is. Generic captain in Phobos armor. He was based off this model, so they don't want him around because he's just meant to be a model. Sergeant Gadriel. Yeah. So that's the reason they got rid of him, just because the model already exists. They never really anticipated that, you know, Space Marine 2 would be so extraordinarily popular that they decide to fully canonize it. Sergeant Gadriel. Yeah, so I mean, Titus himself isn't even that unique looking. I think it was always designed to be a relatively generic looking Space Marine. Put your arms in the air like you just don't care. Yeah, it's gonna have his arms in the air like you just don't care. Oh, he's so cool. Oh, it's like, do you know when Bane does that weird thing? He's like, come on, fight me, Batman. Yeah, he's like storming forward, like, fight me. Fight me. Now if we hear about Marlon Kaido joining the second company, 500 world, yeah, for 500 worlds would be easy with Kaido. I don't know if Kaido's going to be canonized. Some people say that it's canon, others say it's not canon. I am, for one, unsure still whether it's truly canon or not. Sorry, my chat on my phone just broke. There we go. Chat's back. Here we go.
Is this how people avoid playing Primaris in 2025?
No, I love Primaris. I've also recently been building, like, how many captains did I build? Not captains. I have like so many Graphis Marines, and I've still got so many more I want to get eventually. I love Primaris. These guys are Primaris Terminators. They're not generic Terminators. They're big. They're big buff boys. If you want to avoid playing Primaris, you either buy Horus Heresy models, or you play Tactical Squads and Devastator Squads, as well as Vanguard Assault Marines. None of them are Primaris. Kaido is canon as far as I know, and I don't know much. I have heard people say that it's like, oh, it was all canonized by Games Workshop. With Space Marine and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Except then I've not actually read anything saying that it's definitely canon. Like, Games Workshop has released, like, you know, the Fire Warrior video game and the Fire Warrior book. Neither of them are canon. But they did release a book of a video game. And that doesn't make the video game canon, it doesn't make the book canon. That's me. Play as a chapter hasn't received Primaris reinforcement. You can also play as Black Templar without Primaris, in theory. Because there is a big thing about some of the Crusades of Black Templar abjectly refuse to accept Primaris into their ranks. There's even a little story about it. Which I think is cool. Black Templar, very weird chapter. That are not entirely unified in thought. I'm gonna put this shoulder pad on backwards. Yeah. I don't think this guy's gonna have a loincloth. I think he's happy like he is. Let's instead find some, do I have any more left for you? Eurydiceus? Eurydiceus. Oh, there's two there, nice. I got glue on my tongue. Is that plastic? I'm using a mixture of both. This is plastic glue. This is super glue. Because this is resin pieces here. Like those shoulder pads for custom pieces of resin. I don't think he does. There's a character with the same name as him, but it's a different character. The lore in the book has also been completely decanonized, with lore that came afterwards contradicting it at every single turn. But there is a character with the same name. It's just not the same character. And the background of that character is different from the background from the character from Fire Warrior. Oh, am I thinking about the Dawn of War character, actually? I mean, I might be wrong about these things. Like, I'm not exactly the Allure Visionario, whatever you call them. I just do what I do. The only problem with super glue is that it adheres more readily to human flesh than to plastic. It is true. My fingers are covered in super glue. And plastic glue, to be fair. Although plastic glue just more burns the layers on your skin. It's still chilly at noon. What temperature is it here? I got my windows open. I think it's like down below 0 again. It was 5 degrees Celsius this when I was walking my cat. So not far above freezing. I didn't feel that cold personally. I haven't even put that many models together, but I've glued so many Space Marine arms to my fingers. Yeah, you have to remember a few things. Is one, it's better to use plastic glue than super glue. Only use super glue really if you're gluing metal or resin pieces. Like, secondly, you don't need much glue, really. When it comes to super glue especially, you don't need much of it at all. Plastic glue, you generally do need a bit more of it sometimes to really get it to adhere properly. At least in my experience. They had to be oversellers as to not avoid being oversellers as to avoid melting the details away on your models. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at him. He's a cool dude. Either that or he might be surrendering. Don't shoot! Like you in Terminator plate, dude. Don't shoot! I don't want to be shot. Dude, you're in Terminator plate. If you're shot, you'll be fine. Oh yeah. Charge! Levi Jenkins gets hit by a melter gun. Melted. No! Bob! I knew we should have brought guns with us. But so far we got 7 models built today. Yay, did one more than yesterday. But we got 2 character models done today. We got this dude, the captain. Look how cool this captain is. Oh yeah. Now, I mean the captain model, I don't mind it too much. You do have a little bit of flexibility of how it can go together, which makes it a bit cooler. I am sad that you can't get any helmeted heads in the captain set. And I don't think it's worth £29. I don't even think it's worth a 20% discount. Same goes for Chaplain model. It's a pretty nice model actually, now that I've got it in my hands and I've put it together. It's not too shabby. But I do believe both of these should come with a cape. Both of them should. I like that this one does have a helmet and non-helmeted option. I do feel like there should be another option for something on its shield. I do like the fact that it got 2 choices for the thing on its legs too. Its loincloth. I did use some green stuff recently to make some small add-ons for miniature. I found super glue was needed to add them to a model after they had dried. Yeah, you need super glue. Super glue is also for things like green stuff. Often when you put in green stuff
Shameless
onto a model...
brag time. I finally maxed out every character on Space Marine 2.
Oh my goodness, it took me forever to max out my graphist dude. I didn't even fully max him out. It's like I got bored partway through for first, prestiging him, whatever it's called. But one thing I do like about super glue is, once it's fully dried on your fingers, I kind of like when you can peel it off and you get like the big old layers of super glue. I don't know why, it always feels nice. It's like exfoliation for your skin, but with super glue instead. Oh, that must have taken a lot of time and effort. But yeah, I think this guy makes a good Castellan Terminator armor. Oh, we got 2 of our dudes built. 2 of our dudes. Yeah, bonk, bonk, bonk. Stop it, stop it, stop it, bonk, bonk. Stop it, Ocean. Bonk, 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 bonk. Do you think Space Marines ever play around like that? Like, it's like, I don't have a power field on my weapon. It's not damaging you. Bonk, bonk. Stop it though. Bonk, bonk. What? Like, bonk. You're annoying, you know that. But I like to imagine that Space Marines, at least some Space Marines, still know how to have fun. I think it just makes them much more interesting. And then we got an ancient. Remember the days when you could put as many characters into a squad as you wanted to, and you could actually take a character out from one squad mid-battle and then put them into a different squad? vtuber literally played war games to practice strategy. Yeah, but that's like practicing strategy. It's not actually having fun though. Also, Primarchs are different. Primarchs like have way more freedom, especially chaosy guys. They also have way more freedom. But a lot of loyalist Space Marines are just like these really stoic dudes who, even though they might be still able to have the emotions to, you know, have fun and stuff, they don't really do that. They feel it's like a sin almost to have fun, to enjoy themselves. Where's a... Yeah, there's our Space Marine Sergeant for this Terminator squad. This is actually the only squad of Lightning Claws I've got. The other 40... No, other 30 Assault Marines are going... Assault Terminators are going to all be Thunderhammer dudes. But Thunderhammers are way cooler. Also, they're just generally more versatile. Unless Lightning Claws get lethal hits, they're generally not going to be as good as a Thunderhammer with its devastating wounds and its strength 8 and the extra... Wait, does it give them an extra wound? I think it does, doesn't it? It makes them like 4 wound models or something. Usually the main stoic character will have a more joyful brother vehicle. Oh, a bit like, what's their names? In Space Marine 2, I guess. The 2 characters with you are a lot more joyful. Chiron and... I forgot his name. Begins with G. Oh. What's the new stuff? Oh yeah, have you seen the new... Horus Heresy Mechanicus continues winning? Like, why don't we have this in 40k? They're so cool. I love them. I want to turn one of them into Tech Piece Dominus. Sergeant Gadriel. Yeah, Sergeant Gadriel. Who is now Ancient Gadriel. Also, Chaos Marauders. Designer note. This is interesting read. I've only skimmed Reddit though. Oh, look how cool they are. Apparently there's loads and loads of like customization options. There's enough to have every single person with a helmet or not helmeted. There's also like every single person can have a flail. Every single person can have a hand weapon. Every single person can have like a great weapon or something like that for saying. There's a lot of options and customizability with them. That's really cool. I might eventually get some of them in the far future. I'm picturing a Space Marine playing with the miniatures in the war room, like Dark Helmet and Spaceball. I mean, that's pretty much what vtuber did quite a lot. He liked to make miniatures and stuff as well. Oh. but does he really stand out as a captain compared to these other people? Like, where's the sergeant gone? There he is. Does he stand out as a captain compared to him? And he's got the bigger base. He's also got the iron halo. He's got the wider stance. He's got the bigger he's got 2 tactical rocks, not just 1. He's got the longer loincloth. Extra details in his armor. Both of them have 2 shoulder pads. He's got the bionic eye. Both of them have a cool cape. Oh, and he's also got the cool little things on his shoulders, the little wing things. Yeah, he definitely feels more like a character. Although he doesn't feel as cool as... Where's my other captain? Come back. He's got nothing on this captain though. Oh. Yeah. This is why I don't like this model very much. It's just compare it to this push fit model. It comes with a cape. I don't have to get a custom piece made for it. I mean, I did add these cool burner things to the top. I did change its head for not generic Terminator helmet. Yeah, this is just a way cooler model of these two. And it's got a cool base as well. That really makes it more centerpiece-like. Hey, that is one thing about 40k, at least Space Marines, is that your captains can be like centerpiece models themselves. Like, where is the combat patrol again? Like, which 40k kits actually have centerpiece models in from other combat patrols? Like, the Drukhari don't really have a centerpiece model. They have 2 models that can be a centerpiece. White Scars has this dude in it, who's your centerpiece. And it has an impulsor. The Leagues of Photon. Yeah, that way I like a centerpiece model. I mean, this unit here can kind of be considered a centerpiece unit with your character. Space Wolves. And mainly terminate your wolf, and you got lots of cool units and models there. It's hard to say any of them are really a centerpiece. This thing, I guess your centerpiece model would be your Parasite to Martrex. It's big. Combat Patrol Grey Knights has both a Dreadnought and Drago himself. Thousand Suns has the big old demon prince. Emperor's Children, yeah, none of these are centerpiece models. None of them really stand out. If you paint from the official colour scheme, none of them really stand out. Like your Flawless Blades, they don't stand out to a lot from your generic commenter dudes. I mean, when you look at the details, of course, these will have way more going on. And your captain does, it just looks like a blob of infantry. A centerpiece model needs to really stand out from them. Death Guard's a really good combat patrol with a Rhino and your big old Terminators and stuff. World Eaters once again as a Demon Prince. Astra Militarum, they don't really have a centerpiece here. Cool. I actually like that combat patrol. I can understand why others don't. Gene Stealer Cult's got loads of stuff going on it. And it's got that big old vehicle up there. Agents has your Assassin, who stands out quite massively. Adeptus don't really have a model that stands out too heavily. Yeah, Space Marines. I would say this guy is semi-centerpiece model just because he's so much more detailed and there's so much more going on with him. And his colour scheme, because he's got the fire, he stands out massively from everyone else. But he's not really a big model. Combat Patrol Orcs, that's your big war boss and these big things. I can't even tell Custody models from one another. Like, I can't tell which one's a character and which one isn't. Oh, the Tau Empire one's nice because that's got the big old battle suit commander and the vehicle. Dark Angels doesn't really have a centerpiece model either. You got this dude. Ooh, Necrons does. It's got this big thing. They don't really. This does have the Terminator Captain, but don't buy the Combat Patrol. You've got this starter set here, which comes with a whole load of cool terrain and Tyranid Combat Patrol and basically the exact same Combat Patrol. Like 134 quid for all of this, or 105 quid for just the Space Marines from this. It's stupid. You know, you don't really have a centerpiece model for Black Templars, they all kind of just merge into one another. Blood Angels don't really have that centerpiece unit. I mean, you can have these guys, they do stand out, but... What was I looking at just then? I'm sorry. Oh yeah, for start here, for 40k, where is it? Start here. Start to set. £135 too much for you. Don't want to buy this thing. Well, just buy this thing. And see, you got basic. The only thing you're missing here, if you want for Space Marines, like £69.50 of this starter set. As a handbook. Has these cool things. Has all these Tyranids. The only thing you're missing from the Space Marines is a Librarian in Terminator armor. It's like, and it's £69.50 compared to £105 for the Combat Patrol. Just for, and if you want the Librarian in Terminator armor, you can just buy him separately. He's over here. Where is he? There he is. He's 26 quid. I mean, that's still very expensive, but £26 plus £69.50, it's less than £105. It's £95.50. You save £10 and get a whole load more stuff extra on top of it. This Combat Patrol is just a pure scam for the Space Marines. Don't buy it. Oh... But yeah, so far we've got 13 of the Space Marines made. Yay! I do like the new models. These Assault Terminators are very nice. You've got plenty of arm options and stuff on them. Plenty of ways to build them. Lots and lots of purity seals. I always love that. And on top of the purity seals, we've got some other stuff that I never bothered with. Because I just can't be bothered with them at all. Oh my god!
Need more cardboard boxes to expand your domicile?
Yeah, I needed more cardboard boxes. And thanks for being a member for 19 months, Talk. Oh, Yeet. But yeah, I got all these tiny little tokens here. They're like little crux marks. I'm saving them for two reasons. One, I think they would be really cool just putting them on normal Space Marines. Especially veteran Space Marines. Two is the tiny fiddly bits that don't really feel like they have a good place to put on our Terminators. Like these little badges. There's quite a lot of them in the set. So that's one of the things I've avoided. If you don't want to use the custom parts like I've used, then you're going to get a lot more freedom and use out of these little shields. Add a lot more extra detail to them. As you can see, because you've got two set of lightning claw arms spare with the set as well, which is really cool. Well, that means you can also just like choose if you want an extra open hand or an extra fist or whatever. I got loads of these little things here. I got off the side of them. Loads of shoulder pads. Actually, really, I think I've only got enough shoulder pads to build them one way. And then you've got what you should have one spare shoulder pad. That's basic. It just shows that for a sergeant. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things. With the assault terminator kit, it's honestly pretty nice. The new ancient kit, I really like it, but again, it's very hard to say that they're worth the insane price that characters are. I mean, I do think it's pretty nice. I'm just a bit sad. I feel like they could have gone for a bit more of a unique banner. I do like how you can have 2 different heads for the banner, though. I think that's really nice. I do like the customizability of this, meaning you can easily just take the banner and give it to a different Space Marine. Or you can just change what way the banner's being held. I think that's cool too. Gives you a bit more customizability in how you pose your model. Obviously the Ancient didn't actually come with this Thunder Hammer. I just stole it from my Assault Terminator kit. I'm saying a 3D printer is a worthwhile investment for you at this point, but I mean, if I want to get a 3D printer, I don't own my house. I have a bedroom in this house. The only place I'd have to put, I need a resin printer ultimately if I wanted a vehicles. Yeah, I could use an FDM printer for vehicles. But for like all of these bits and to make models like this, I'll need a full-on resin printer. And they're very expensive. It's like, it would have cost me more to buy them than it would have been to buy all these Terminators. But on top of that, it's a massive time commitment to do it. So every single print's a massive time commitment, especially learning how to do it all, getting all the different model parts. And on top of that, it's like, if I get a resin printer, then I need a space to do it. The only way I'll do that is to set up a workshop, which means I've looked into the price of how expensive it would be to make a workshop, like in the garden or whatever. It's like £10,000 over. I don't have that sort of money. So yeah, it's really not worthwhile getting a 3D printer. I have been thinking about getting an FDM one maybe. But the cheaper ones, there's a lot of issues with them. And again, I don't really have the space for it.
.3D printing is also stinky too.
It is. You got toxic resin fumes. That's a big thing. It's like, I wouldn't have the space at all for a resin printer because you have to have the entire area for effectively for resin and the curing station and stuff. So I'd have to have a proper workshop, and so it's just not viable for me right now. If I ran into a bunch of money and could get my own house and stuff, then maybe, yeah. But for now, I don't think there's anything I'm going to be buying, even if Games Workshop announces something I want. For at least a few months, I'm not buying anything. I'm going back into saving mode. I had been saving for quite a while to get all these Terminators and everything else. And I did bite in quite a lot into my actual personal savings. Not that I'm allowed to have many personal savings. But sell Titan's kidney. Oh, sell Talan's kidney. We've already sold his kidney to buy this plastic. It's sold for 69 pence because, you know, he's a little rat boy. Also, hello, Tor. It's been a while since we last saw you here. I do feel like with the Terminator Captain kit, you waste It's like you got 3 sections of the sprue here, all wasted on just a weapon that has 1 damage profile right now. It's stupid. Also, is her motor gun with an underslung bolter? Does that mean you can shoot the motor gun as much as you want, but for bolter you can only shoot once? Because that's what usually that means. Oh, but yeah. I just don't like that this half a sprue here is 29 quid. These 6 full these 3 full sprues, so 6 times the amount that you get for this, 6 times the amount of the terminators, 40 quid. Oh, but yeah. Oh, I do like the models though. It's just, I don't like him enough. Like, he just feels like he's missing a lot for a character. Like, it feels like he's missing a bunch of weapon options. Like, he should have the option to have a thunder hammer. He should have the option to have a chain fist. He should have the option to have a storm shield. He's a Terminator captain. He should have a cape. He should have 2 cape options. You should have multiple helmet options. Yeah, been working a lot, finally. The season has ended, so I have time off until mid-February. So I'm living my best hikey life while playing SnowRunner. Got tired of ETS2. Need a new challenge. Oh, what's ETS2? ETS2. Entertainment. Oh, Euro Truck Simulator 2. That one. Yeah. Oh, it's been ages since we played that. Yeah, Euro Truck. I kind of want to play that again. But yeah. And the same goes with this blooming Chaplain. It feels like they should have multiple options going on with them. And even with this Ancient, I feel like should have multiple weapon options and stuff. But it's... She can't drive, she's British. The British are the best at driving because we drive on the left side of the road, which is the correct side of the road. It kind of stops being fun when you make the 308. I don't know how you managed to achieve that. How are any of those companies paying you, staying in business? Like, paying 380k to the delivery driver for a single delivery sounds insane. Oh. The economy of Euro Truck Simulator. I'll never understand it. Actually, yeah, if you are being paid to transport something like extremely expensive and extremely delicate, you can make that type of money. You can make insane money on that for a single delivery. But that being said, your costs for getting to that level is absolutely insane in real life. Like, you need a special type of truck that only gets used like once or twice a year because there's very few times you'll ever need to use it. Well, maybe not truck, but you know, stuff. Have all your licenses as well so you can haul those lucrative stuff. Yeah. I am keeping this Chaplain Terminator head for, I'm gonna put it onto a Graphis body so that I can have a Graphis captain who is actually a chaplain. He just uses the captain stat line. Because my heavy, what's it called? My heavy battle line it's just purely Graphis models. But there's only 2 Graphis characters at the moment. I feel like every single detachment needs to have a chaplain in it. or equivalent like a Judiciary or an Execrator. Oh no, I broke him. Oh gosh, I am not feeling very well at the moment. Oh, and I've got to walk my cats again. Oh, cars outside. Being noisy and going fast on a small road that they shouldn't be going fast on. There we go. Oh, and he's coming off his base as well. No! He's falling to pieces. It'd be funny if like just each and every single bit just fell off him one at a time and then all my models just fell apart. It's like, oh, you got that special plastic glue? You didn't like pay for subscription fee to it? Oh my god, if companies could make you pay a subscription fee, and if you stop paying, all of your glue stops working, they would. They would. So no one is similar but more off-road based, so hauling cargo on now muddy roads, and also have to do the occasional rescue mission to save one of my bogged down trucks. But oh, that sounds really fun actually. I can imagine getting annoyed if like my truckers keep just getting bogged down and I have to go out to rescue them. Unless there's like just a way of paying a fee and it just gets automatically rescued by like a rescue company or by one of the other truckers. Ice Road Truckers. That was the I almost said anime. The show, wasn't it? That is a cool mace though. I do like that mace. I do like how you get two other options. Like you've got where's the sprue? Oh, that's the where's the chaplain sprue? Oh, here it is. Yeah, you've got this other one, which I'm going to put on the Graphis dude. And then one day they're going to eventually give us Graphis chaplains, and I'm going to be like, I don't need to get it, I've already got one. But thank you everyone for coming to the stream today. I hope you've had a good time. And remember to like the stream, please, because it helps me out. But tomorrow we're going to be building more Terminators, same time. And also remember to take care of yourself, be kind to others and vice versa. Remember to work hard, play harder, and also eat good food, sleep well, dream of cupcakes, but don't eat the cupcakes because they're friends, not food. Yeah. Love you all. Big hearts. Big hearts. Bossin is coming to an end. Love you all. You're getting raspy cupcakes to be friends with, not to attack, I hope.